Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share my currently inked for March with you. As always, I like to take a quick look at the previous month. So in February, I had the Pilot Kakuno inked with Diamine Antler. I really enjoyed that combination. I had my Kaweco Perkeo All Clear inked with Warangol Anubis. I also really liked that one. I had my Kaweco Student 20s Jazz inked with Robert Oster Cafe Crema. And for some reason, I kept having some issues where I just couldn't really get any ink to flow. I don't know if it's the paper or the pen, but to be honest, I think it's the nib. I have changed out the nib on the pen, actually at their flagship store in Nuremberg. The salesperson there was so kind and gave me the nib for free because I told her that I keep having issues with this pen, and now I have a new nib and the ink is flowing a lot better, but I still have some issues here and there, so I think there is something wrong with the pen. I'm not sure. Not to the point where you can write with it, but like every 2 or 3 lines I get an odd bit where I just can't get ink to flow. And if Robert Oster Cafe Crema isn't like an immensely dry ink, so yeah. And I've had that issue before where the pen just wouldn't write anymore at all, so I think there's just something off with the pen, but it's not to the point where I can't use it, so it's still okay. The Hongdian A7 with Winter Inks Sea Kelp, I loved the pen, I loved the ink. The Esterbrook SD with Diamine Nightfall, I loved it. I loved it so much. And the Twisby Eco Plum and Onyx with Ferris Wheel Press the Sherry Sonata, I also really loved. And the thing is, I think why I have enjoyed pretty much all of my pens this month was because I had a clear vision, I had a clear concept, and all of these inks just worked really well. I love all of the colors, and I think that made coming up with spreads really easy, and I was just using all of my pens. I will show you some writing samples. Let's take a look at my cousin. So this is Winter Inks Sea Kelp. This is the Sherry Sonata from Ferris Wheel Press. This is Anubis from Warangol. And this is, I think, Antler from Diamine with the Kakuno. And let's look at some of the daily entries. This is the SD with Diamine Nightfall. This is Warangol and Diamine Antler. This is again Ferris Wheel Press. This is Nightfall. And do you see how like the inks they worked so well with each other, and it was so easy to just grab a pen and write. I didn't really think about anything because each spread just worked. And I didn't really have any issues besides, sadly, with my Kaweco Student. And that's also why you see that I wasn't really using that pen that much. I was using it here. And I think that's, and I was using it here. And I just kept having some weird spots. And it might also be the paper. I'm not sure. But yeah, I wasn't using that pen that much, unfortunately. I will just quickly sort out my cat because he's hungry. He hasn't eaten in an hour, so it's very urgent, of course. And I will be right back to share with you what I have inked for March. Okay, I'm back. I sorted out my cat. He was starving after his nap, understandable. And I zoomed you in a little closer. I had a really nice comment under my last video suggesting that I would please zoom you in a little more, and I keep forgetting, so today I thought about it, so thank you so much for the sweet comment under my last video. So last month I was drawing inspiration from art, and I did it this month as well. And the inspiration comes from this art piece. I kind of like the purple background because the purple matches this month's grid in the Hobonichi Cousin. And I don't know why, it just kind of spoke to me. The artist is Raphael Kirchner, which is an Austrian artist, which I like because I'm also Austrian, so I kind of like that. And this art piece is called The Green Lantern. I sadly don't have any more information on it, but I really liked it, and I tried to draw inspiration for my ink from this art piece. So I think I'm just gonna paste it here on the left, and we have plenty of room to swatch the inks on the right. I'm going to use my handy glue stamp. I love this thing. Okie dokie, so the first pen for this month is quite a special one. It's the new Kaweco DIY Sport. At the beginning of the month, I had the opportunity to go to Ravensburg for a day, where there was a stationery store having an event for a week where you could build the pen, and I was really excited, so I had to pick it up, and I actually have the perfect ink for it. It's this one. This is Dominant Industry, the Painter Series Olive Grove. It is quite a light ink, and to be honest, it is not the most practical in this pen, but I just like that it was matching so perfectly that I think for future uses I will probably ink it with a darker ink. And I just love the packaging of Dominant Industry. I think the inks look so cute, and they're packaged in this little velvet pouch. It's so nice. And the ink bottles are super cute as well. I was actually debating going for a Van Gogh inspired month because of this ink and this pen, but I kind of didn't like it, so I went with this art piece instead. I always have a hard time opening these bottles. I feel like I have a really weak grip no matter how much strength training I do. My grip is always really weak. I think in this series they also have a blue one, but I don't know. The blue one wasn't really my thing, so I went with this one. So this is my Kaweco DIY Glow Sport, and I have it in a medium. They only had mediums for this experience, and I was kind of bummed because I usually don't like medium nibs, and I'm surprised that I actually like it. Maybe it's because the ink is so light that it would be borderline unlegible in a fine. Maybe that plays into it, but yeah, I've been really liking a medium nib. You know, the world is your oyster, apparently. And it is Dominant Industry, the Painter Series Olive Grove. I'm just gonna write Olive Grove because I only have one Dominant Industry ink and I won't get it confused. So yeah, this is the first combination. Isn't it so cute? I really like how when the ink dries you start to see some dual shading. There are hints of like a lime green, more grassy green, and even hints of blue. I really like it. It's a beautiful ink, and it just goes so well with the pen. And also about the pen, the glow on this is so strong. I was journaling on my balcony a few days ago, and I was in direct sunlight. And when I walked back into my apartment, and I was walking through my corridor in my apartment, that's quite dark, the pen was glowing so much. It was like having like a lightsaber in my hand. It was really bright. It was kind of like walking around with a torch or something. It was really fun. So yeah, big fan so far of this one, and also a big fan of the medium nib. So maybe I should try more medium nibs from Kaweco in the future. Who knows? Second pen of the month is another pocket-sized pen. This is my Jinhao 82 Mini. I have no idea what the official name for this pen is because I feel like depending on where you shop, the names are going to be different. I'm just going to call it my Jinhao 82 Mini Orange because I only have one more. So I know what I mean when I write Jinhao 82 Mini Orange. And the ink is also quite a fun one. This is Diamine Fruit Cocktail. This is a scented ink from their ink event in 2024, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to use this ink, to be honest, because it is so bright. And I'm still a little unsure, but yeah, it is what it is. Do you see how bright it is? It's definitely not a subtle orange. It's really bright. It's also scented, which I don't mind. I know that a lot of people can be sensitive to scents though, so if you are sensitive, this is probably not for you. But yeah, I think it's a really fun one. So the pen is my Jinhao 82 Mini Orange in a fine nib, and the ink is Diamine Fruit Cocktail. I think the ink is quite fun. It's super bright though. I think the only thing that I'm kind of missing is it is quite a flat ink. There isn't much shading going on. It's quite flat in the color and it's really bright. But I think it's fun. I usually don't go for inks that bright, but I thought the hair on the painting is so bright and orange, so it had to be a bright orange. Oh, and of course the green is inspired by the green lantern the girl is holding in the painting. Next up, another pocket pen and another Kaweco DIY Sport. This is the Mystic Berry edition, and the ink on this one is Diamine Potpourri. I think this was the same year as the ink from that ink event, and I chose this one because it is the perfect match for the grid for March. I usually like to have an ink that matches the grid as close as I can, and I felt like this was the perfect match from all of the inks in my collection. There might of course be an ink that matches it even better, but from what I have in my collection, this was the closest one. And I really like this ink as well, actually. It's quite a nice purple with a very like dusty tone. It's not too bright and out there, which I usually prefer. So this is my Kaweco DIY Sport Berry in a fine, and the ink is Diamine Potpourri. So this is kinda trying to imitate the background. It's not a close match in color, but it is a close match for the grid in my Hobonichi, so I decided to still go with it. Now we're going into the bigger pens because the first 3 were all pocket pens. This is a new one for me. I got this for Christmas from my boyfriend's sister and her boyfriend, and I've been really liking it. This is my Noodlers Konrad. Tinian Treasure is the model, and I sadly don't know what the nib size on this is, but I'm pretty sure it's a fine. The only thing I don't like about this pen is how many times you have to twist the cap. I feel like I'm twisting forever to get the cap on and off. I mean, that way it's probably more secure and it won't come apart that easily, but still it's like you feel like you're sitting there forever twisting this pen. And the ink on this one is so exciting. This is, I think, my only Sailor ink. This is Hana Gokoro, and I love this ink so much. You will see when I swatch it, it's a super fun one because it changes color as it dries. It goes on more of a blue, and the more it dries, it turns into a purple ink, and it's so pretty. I feel like I need to get more into Sailor, but they're just quite expensive. But so far, absolutely worth it. This is a pretty ink. So it's going on quite blue at the start, and you will see that the swatch is turning more and more purple as it's drying. Again, I'm twisting forever. So this is my Noodlers. Konrad in Tinian Treasure. I believe it's a fine. It doesn't say it on the packaging, and it was a gift. So I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a fine. And the ink is Sailor Hana Gokoro. Do you see how it's starting to turn more purple? I think that's a really cute combination because we have the like dark blue swirls and the pink swirls, and I thought it matched quite well, and the pen is really gorgeous. I really like this one. Do you see how it's turning more purple? I just love watching that ink dry. Next up is my Twisby Eco Espresso. I haven't had this inked for a bit, maybe like a few months, 3 or 4 months, so I'm really excited to be back. And I have it inked with Diamine Walnut. The combination of these two together, I just love. It works great every time, and I think Diamine Walnut is probably one of my favorite browns. So this is my Twisby Eco Espresso Bronze in an extra fine, and the ink is Diamine Walnut. That's kind of inspired by like the outside of her hair fading into the background, and it's quite a like dark brown, and also some of the body parts are like darker brown, so I decided to go with that. And also I kind of need a brown every month because it's just my favorite, so I'm always looking for an excuse to have a brown ink. And we are reaching the last pen for this month, which is my Hongdian N23, the year of the rabbit, and I have it with Diamine Quartz Black because we have some black on the top and bottom of the lantern, and you can't really go wrong with a black. Although Diamine Quartz Black is more of a really dark gray, I would say. If you're looking for a black ink, this is not for you, because this ink is definitely a dark gray when you're writing with it. But I like it. I feel like a really black ink is sometimes a lot on the paper, and I feel like, I don't know, this is a little softer and a little nicer in a way. So this is my Hongdian N23, the year of the rabbit. And I have it in an extra fine. I really like this pen. And the ink is Diamine Quartz Black. It's writing so smooth, really juicy. I really like it. And of course the pen is also just cute. In case you don't know, this was for the year of the rabbit. This year we have the year of the snake. That was the year of the rabbit. There's a little rabbit on the body of the pen, also here, and also on the cap we have, on the nib we have a little a rabbit etched in there, and I liked it because it says 1997, which I'm guessing is the year Hongdian was founded. I'm not sure, but it's my birth year, so I thought it's the perfect pen for me, and it truly is. I really like it, and I thought it would be nice for spring, you know, rabbits. Florals for spring, around breaking. So yeah, this is what I have currently inked. Let me zoom you out a little more. So I think when you see it next to each other, you can definitely tell that I was drawing inspiration from this art piece. The green is supposed to be the lantern, the orange is her bright fiery hair. These two are supposed to mimic the background, and also Diamine Potpourri I like because it matches the grid on the cousin, as I said, really well. This one is supposed to be like for the outside of her hair and her features. That's the brown, and the quartz black is supposed to be the parts on the lantern that we can see here. It's already the 15th of March, and I've been writing with these pens for a while, and so far I'm really liking it. Of course, as I said, Olive Grove is just a bit light, so it's definitely not an ink that I'm using every day, but the rest I really like. Fruit Cocktail, I feel like I kind of have to be in the mood for, because it is bright. It's a really bright and punchy orange, but I still like it, and if I use it, I usually pair it with Diamine Quartz Black. I feel like that's just a nice contrast, and it stands out really nicely. So yeah, that's my currently inked for March. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if we are matching, if we're twinning with any of the pens or inks. I'd love to hear what you have inked for March. And I will see you in my next video, which will probably be my thoughts, feelings, and favorites for March. I've already taken some notes on what I want to touch on, so be sure to check that video out once I upload it. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, guys. Bye.